These docks are reserved for the Imperial Envoy of Adir.
And here I thought we were getting along.
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And she's late. Probably died at sea. Good riddance. Wait, you're the... Fuck.
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so... Well...
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger. Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So, we made up some new ones.
Well, there's some kind of blight in the wilderness and rumors of plague. They went to investigate. Nature has a mind of its own in these parts. When the ecosystem changes, we ask ourselves how and why.
Leaderless and rudderless is the natural state of things in Paradise anyway. Keeps things interesting.
They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up? Name's Kai. I've been a soldier, a sailor, and a halfway decent baritone.
He's a troublemaker, but a damn qualified one at least.
I knew you had a soft spot for me. Claviger Amond helped me get on my feet when I came to Paradise a few years ago. Last time we spoke, he sounded worried about things. If he's gotten himself into trouble, I owe it to him to help out. If there's one thing you can say about Rawatayans, we're no backstabbers. We handle our disagreements face to face, with lots of yelling and violence. You'll vouch for me, right, Captain?
Better to have him and not need him, I guess.
That's the nicest thing you've said about me all day.
Kai, before you go, remember, you're taking a distinguished veteran into the wilderness. Make sure she comes back alive, or the steel garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The steel garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say. They're an order of religious cutthroats, sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the steel garrote? Maybe it's better if you don't mention me at all. Speaking of the steel garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the burned queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the dead fire, and death spat her back out. That's none of my business, and let's keep it that way.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwig later. First, we've got to find your ambassador and my claviger. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air. Pargrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Adirans will outnumber us 3-1.
Why doesn't the claviger put a stop to it?
What do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. We got a listener. Keep walking, Outlander.
Hey! You better watch your step.
Watch where you're going. Wouldn't want you. Don't test me. Piss off.
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, man.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind. I can't believe how rude everyone is around here. How hard could it be to find a watcher? I have a little money, if that's what you mean. I assumed I'd have to pay the watcher, though. I have a strange problem, you see. Something more like. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do? Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't go back. And there's nothing to steal either. The Zorips saw to that. Come back when you've dealt with them. And make sure you get their leader, too. I'm sorry, but I don't think they'll go quietly. You'll have to kill them. Thank you. That may not be worth much coming from a stranger, but I mean it. I'd hate to be in your shoes, envoy.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon or a sturdy shield. Not to worry, Volter is here. I suggest you take a look at my wares before you speak to Daggerda. Who knows what mood she's in today?
What harm could some new armor do? Heading out to the wilds? Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. Now don't mind him. What are you interested in? Time to resupply? Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradise. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lied to the Garrote for you. Do I have to spell it out? The living lands are a dangerous place.
Welcome to Dawnshore, Traveler. My name is Dagerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Volter told you. Ha! I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was wrong. To be honest, stranger, I'm not inclined to go into it. He knows what he did, and let's leave it at that.
I'm in search of lost treasures.
Godlike.
It's a fine day for adventuring. Greetings, Godlike.
That lighthouse has been under repair since Adiran ships began filling the harbor.
I can't help it. After what happened with Kalisha.
I know, dear, but worrying isn't going to do anything.
Oh, you must be the Imperial envoy that just arrived. Hello.
Darling, you don't think that...
I don't know. I'm sure you're very busy, envoy. But do you know of any other ships from Adir that are slated to arrive soon? Is it that easy to tell? Gods, I must be losing my touch.
We're waiting for our son, you see. He's been living in Adir for a number of years now, but is finally coming home.
I just hope he doesn't meet any trouble. I couldn't bear the thought of losing him, too. Not after...
After we lost our little girl. She was working as a mercenary in the Deerwood. Last we heard, she was traveling to Gilded Vale to check in on Alvra, our other daughter.
But she never made it. We can only assume the worst.
We appreciate that, envoy.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us, envoy. We really appreciate it. Gods be with you. Thank you again, envoy.
Move along, please.
I'm not moving.
Sometimes I wonder whether it's worth the fight.
First get on leaves, his letters won't turn up. Galarde! I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradise.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? I apologize. My curiosity got the better of me. Surely you see, though, a god-like envoy, you are quite unusual. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. He must have gone farther than I thought. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. Cartography is not for the slight. It requires a certain initiative.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern ruins. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradise Island. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well, that's our marching orders then.
Keep up the good work, soldiers. Unless you're here to trade, don't bother.
If this can hold me, you'll be fine. Just don't look down. Looks like that broke off of something. Wonder where it goes. They weren't much of an artist. I think that's upstream by the park room wall. Zarabs. They may be small, but be careful.
Left leg!
Nothing like a win with a good team. The local militia's lax at the best of times, which these are not. Beautiful view from these cliffs. Real long way down, too.
To your left! So good.
This is the Hengen's place, or was. Zarab's now. Quiet as this. Anything juicy? Maybe it has something to do with that wall painting in the other room. Let's check it out.
Right flank!
Beyond sync!
I'm no art critic, but I've never seen a mural like that. Looks like an elf and Zarep holding hands. What do you see? Why don't we ask Tehangan about it? It's her house. She ought to know something. What's that Zarep doing out here all by himself? Of course, you don't see them fighting their friends every day either. I don't speak Zarep, but it definitely answered you. I agree. He's not hurting anyone. In fact, we're near Tehangan's house. Maybe he's the one who made that mural.
Venture past the palisades at your own risk. There's no guarantee of safety out in the wilds.
Maximum skates for the rest of us.
Sorry, boys. Seems luck is on my side.
What is it about bosuns? The one on my last voyage cheated too.
Another recruit. By the flames, Cynric finds the strangest types. You're not the only soldier here, pup. If you think you're so tough, why don't you prove to me what you've got? Spar with me. I'll take on you and your big blue friend.
If you're sure, I've got plenty of reach.
Oh, it'll be fun, all right. In Magran's name, prepare yourself.
You're mine now.
Hey! Over here!
All right. You have passed.
We'll get him next time.
It's clear I underestimated your prowess. Fierce as a Rathoon you are, envoy. Now for your prize. Our surplus includes a large hammer, an arquebus, a spear, and a wand. What say you, huh? Aha, the blessed firearm. Its flames burn brighter and faster than any I've seen before. With it you will destroy your enemies. The arquebus, then? It's no godhammer bomb, but it will serve you well. Fear not the flames, envoy. It was an honor, envoy.
Our citizens depend on us. Swing like you mean it.
Maybe it's superstition, but Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest.
Clearly his tits. Someone was actually brazen enough to sneak into the camp for this. We'll get this cleaned up right away, envoy.
Just another day in paradise, eh?
Build another palisade just like the last. When this one falls, what'll you...
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Strangerroot is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Birth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. They said the Emperor sent one of his best and brightest, and Aethys knows we need the help.
Your reputation precedes you.
I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys. Did you deserve it? Kidding. Sorry to hear, Envoy. The living lands is dangerous. We should be sticking together. Can't imagine what might have possessed them to do that. Hope it isn't the damn soul plague. I haven't seen anything like that before. It seems to change people. Animals. Feels sometimes like the plague is alive somehow. Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. Didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends, no. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. Land? No, absolutely not. What I've learned is you can either obey the rules or die. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adiran official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose. At least there's real sunlight here. I remember when that was a real privilege. Things I'd do for window time. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more palisades. Just take a look down the road, and you'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, Envoy. He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort. Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Clavager keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though. Purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Clavager gets the administrative day-to-day done. About Adir. Same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the living lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, Envoy. But truth is, not really. Idea's fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Idea will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodiga. Actually, I miss the pies. The crust's all wrong here. The strangleroot is hungry. Every day it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage. Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask. Once again, I'm no cartographer. But you know what they say about continents with small acreage? They've got big personalities. Little bit of everything here. Poison swamps, deserts, snow-covered mountains, volcanoes, acid seas. Because why not? A cartographer might be able to tell you more. I hear there's one in town. No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Palgrunin, who don't like anybody. And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I want a servant of the Aediran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fjord supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradise. They must be doing something right. I mean, the Palgrunin dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solus Keep and just never come out. Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlement's just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that. I don't know. I mean, I know some people in Adir think of godlike as blessed by the gods. What with you lot having a divine resemblance and all. Although, I guess some folk think godlike are cursed. Depends on what sort you are. Frankly, I don't know if I've seen your particular kind before. Still, I think there are stranger things than you in the living lands, envoy. No offense, but more importantly, that it lives up to its name. Wilder place than Adir, which has been stomped into civility. The living land scares our empire, I think. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sending its most expendable folk here. Present company excluded, of course. I think the living lands won't want to be leashed by the empire, though. But that's my opinion. I've been here a while.
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them? The locals are bound to like us eventually.
I admire the Steel Garrote's devotion to Wodika, but I'd be lying if I said Ludwig didn't make me shiver. Soon enough, the docks won't even be safe.
Hey!